Now, I know you brought some tips for us today, and we're ready to hear them.
Come on,
So,
you know I love some tips.
Take
you guys
it away.
Ready for some tips?
Yes.
Okay. So I want to first say, a lot of the tips that I give, you know, all relationships, I mentioned this last time, but all relationships really begin with you, okay? So I'm very clear and cognizant. Like I said, everyone is not searching for love, but at the end of the day, all relationships, that includes friends, family, it starts with you, okay? So tip number one, y'all ready for this one? Is to own your stuff and do your work, okay? We've all heard, do your work. Auntie Ayala taught us that. Doing your work, but what does that look like? So here it is. So when you enter into a relationship, you're responsible for what you bring into it, okay? It's not your partner's job to take on and own and fix. It is your job, it's your responsibility. So just owning your stuff, owning your conditioning. Another thing is that personal growth is essential to relational growth, okay? So that doesn't just mean, you know, romantic. It's any relationship that you desire to grow, you yourself must grow. That's just, it's very plain language. That's how I do things. And then the last thing is very plain language as well. It's be what you desire to receive. So if you desire gratitude, be grateful. If you desire kindness, be kind. If you desire for someone to accept and embrace who you are, do that. It's very simple, but it really is golden and fundamental. Okay, so number two is, I love the term relationship pillars. So creating your own relationship pillars, establishing rather, your own relationship pillars and boundaries, okay? Now let's imagine pillars. We know what those are, we can envision them. So I always tell couples, you know, clarity and collaboration, right? Clarity eliminates confusion. It helps for couples to kind of know what the rules are within their union, okay? So one thing that a pillar does is when the storms of life comes, it helps keep the relationship grounded in something, okay? So we all have our own values. When you partner with someone, I like to say, well, establish, you know, collaborate on what your shared values look like, okay? The other thing that does is it creates boundaries. So if you imagine a pillar, it not only keeps the foundation strong, but, you know, when life and, you know, peanut gallery and outside parties come, it helps to kind of keep you all on the same page. So it protects from outside influences, because only two people can determine what that relationship looks like. I'm very big on that. I don't subscribe to like rules and all that. It's you two decide, okay? Number three, thank you. I heard a little clap. I'm gonna take it too. I heard a little clap. I'm like, yes, okay. So number three is being clear about roles and expectations, okay? Yeah, ooh, see, come on. I love this audience is like the best, because all that does is fuels me up. All right, so asking for what you want. I don't know who said that was against the law. Asking for what you want. Being able to say, hey, partner, you know, and that's on both sides. Life brings challenges. I know expectations is a big one. And depending on the season, like let's say having a baby. Let's say someone is unemployed. Let's say someone wants to go back to school, or, you know, perhaps the season might change. It's okay to touch base and just reestablish expectations can be changed. So I always say, don't feel like you have to be so steadfast where like this person does this person has this role, and it stays that way indefinitely. I think a lot of times I run into people who might feel guilty if, you know, the season changes. Some people might fall into a low season. I definitely, have experienced it. But, you know, life doesn't always present just a flat ground. Sometimes there's grief, there's loss, there's just things that cause people to not be, you know, in the same energy and vibration space that they've, you know, been in. So just be okay with that. Talk to your partner, be clear about that. All right, so number four, embracing difficult conversations, okay? There's a quote by John Powell, and it says, communication works for those who work at it. Okay, so creating the time to have discomfort. I mean, it doesn't have to be uncomfortable. Let me reframe that. Just regular check-ins, okay? Just a check-in. I didn't say a rundown of all the things that's wrong. Just a check-in, okay, with your partner. And just creating that time, making it intentional. All right, and the last tip. All right, guys, you ready?
We're ready.
This is my favorite tip. Yay! This is my favorite tip. Cultivating, this is one of my favorite words. You guys are getting to know me now, but cultivating the garden of your relationship, right? So think about a garden, okay? A relationship is two living beings in a living, thriving relationship. So what you plant, you will grow. So the same way you water, come on, I feel y'all, you feel me.
What you plant,
what you plant, you will grow. If you plant nothing, you will grow nothing. So plant the seeds and pluck the weeds, okay? Because otherwise, yeah, come on, we're together. You know, at the end of the day, what you don't tend to will die, okay? That's just fundamental law.
Yes.
I don't have a green thumb, but those of you who do know what I'm talking about. So just making sure that you create, and especially for partners who might be busy, life is busy, we all have things, creating that capacity for one another. That's another big one that I see with couples. You just get used to them being there, but you have to create the capacity to know how to tend to each other's needs. It doesn't just happen. So that's my tips, and I know it works no matter what.
Yes,
No
we
matter
are
what.
clinging to your tips. If you like this video, smash that like button and subscribe to the Jennifer Hudson Show YouTube channel. Check your local listings or visit jenniferhudsonshow.com to see when you can watch full episodes in your area. And don't forget to sign up for the newsletter.